Hi, it's T with Teaquilts, and today is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. It's almost 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're watching this at any other time, just know that you were watching an upload of a live chat. Whew. We're just waiting for 7 p.m. to get started. I know some of you all are in the room. Alrighty, so we're gonna get started in a bit. I just can't seem to not stop making masks, and I don't like it. I made 3 after I made 6 this morning. I made another 3, and I still got 8 more to go. I thought I only had 8 more to do. Ugh. I'm making some today with the postal fabric from Teaquilts. Whew. Let me get these just pinned here. Uh-oh, I cut this one too long and too big. I don't know what I was doing. It's like way too big. I'll cut it off after it's sewn or something. It's been a rough day. I'm glad it's too big rather than too small. So if one is too big, the other one is too. I know what I didn't do. I cut off a piece of fabric bigger than what I needed, and then I didn't go and trim the other side. But I still don't know why it's longer than it needs to be. Okay, now this filter is shorter. All right, we're gonna make it work. Oh gosh. Okay, let's see who's all here. So we got Vivian Calvey. She says hi. Hi, Vivian. And hi to Pat Bowman. Kevin the Quilter is here. He says I'm first. You were third. Pretty close. If you all haven't paid attention, Kevin Quilter has a YouTube channel. He's been posting about his chickens. So it's pretty cool. Educational. Slowing Down Joe is here. Hi, Joe. She's saying hi to T. Vicky Lemire is here saying hello. Hi, Vicky. Quilt Gal says hi, T, and everyone. Still making masks. Yes, hunty, I understand. Erica Selman says, hey, T, and everyone. I am in Mask Factory, too. Woo! Hi, Erica. I am so sick of these things. Leetta Bryan is here, says hi, T, Kevin, and everyone. Hi, Leetta. I sure miss seeing everybody. June Hanson says, hi, Miss T and all. I have 10 left, and then I'm done with this. Will be 26 in this batch. I have lost counting, but I've been taking pictures of mine, so I'm going to have to go back and count. I know I'm over 50. But, yeah. Slowing Down Joe says, sorry, Vivian, didn't see your name. Kimalina is here, says hi, everyone. Hi, Kim. Claudette Bettis is here, says hello, T, and everyone. And Maddie Barnum is here, says hey, T, it's cold in Michigan. Yes, I'm not going to ever move any more north. I don't know if I want to be hotter, but I would never move any more north because I definitely don't want to be colder. Leetta says she made 10 on Sunday, need to make 4 more. Shrivia Henderson says, hi, everyone. And T, hi, Shrivia. So, yeah, I am sick of these things. But I did have somebody in my Teaquilts. Hi, Judy. Had somebody in Teaquilts group saying that their family was, like, not really impressed with their fabrics, their sewing ability, but then they're asking them to make masks, and she was just terrified of making masks because she didn't want the whole family to call all the fabric ugly, or to get them and then not wear them. And it's like, these people ought to be grateful that you're part of saving their lives. It's like, you can't complain. I didn't even give my family, for the most part, a choice on the fabrics. I just picked the fabrics. What I did was I had fabrics that I had bought from the Flea for All last August. Some of them were scraps, some of it was yardage, but I never put that fabric up. And so I just pulled that bag out and started making fabric. You get what you get. And if I had something specific that I knew somebody would like I happen to have this airmail fabric that I had bought a couple years ago. I was going to make my postal man quilt. And then they changed the guy, and then I went up there trying to figure out who it was, and they couldn't figure out who he was. So I don't know if he retired or whatever, but I had this fabric, so I've been making some for the people that work in the post office with this fabric. But for the most part, and it's fabric that I wouldn't have known what to do with. All I need is like a piece of it if I'm going to do an I Spy quilt or something. So I don't need like yards and yards of this fabric, so I've been cutting it up to use it for the group. But people, beggars or people in need, can't be choosy. You use what you get. Doesn't even have to match, We got June Hansen says, hi Kevin, nice eggs. I found out I can get eggs and chickens from a gal in the country. Cynthia Shade is here, says, good evening to all from Chicago. Hi Cynthia. I wouldn't move to Chicago either. I visit Chicago. I used to go every first Friday in December for Christmas shopping and to see the lights. And you talk about cold, baby cold, on Michigan Avenue. Woo-wee. We got Vicki Lemire, says 31 in Marquette County, Michigan. Mary says, I didn't do very well on my first one. It didn't seem even on the sides. I'm going to be sewing, I need 2 more because I made 4 postal masks. And then when I got to the post office and handed them out, I had made 3 for the clerks, and then I made 1 for my person that delivers to my house. So I happened to have all 4 of them in the bag because I wanted to make sure it wasn't her off day and somebody else got her mask. So I had one girl said she has a sister that works at another post office, and so I just charged her a nominal fee to do it because I didn't know if she had a sister there or not, for real. But I don't know her sister. I'm trying to take care of the people that I personally know that hasn't been taken care of. So so they were really happy to get their mask today. They took off their blue filter masks and put on these. It was so funny. Let's see, who else is in here? Maddie says, T, I couldn't find out where to make the blocks. I'll check again. Yeah, if you go onto YouTube, and in the YouTube, once you're on YouTube, you have a search box that's on the YouTube side, not the Google search box. You put in Teaquilts block swap. I'm in a red shirt, looking down, probably at my phone like this, because I may have been reading a comment. So that's the video that you want to pull up, and then it has the link to the actual paper pattern instructions with the requirements, with the swap requirements. Beverly Seaball says, hello everyone, hope all is well. Hi Beverly. June Billing says, hi T and everyone. Hi June. Cool Gal says, I forgot to say I got my Fealty on Monday, exactly 1.5 weeks and I ordered the second size up today. It seems like everyone wants black and blue fabric. Tucker is here. Hi, Tucker. Hope all is well with you, with your grandma. He says, hello, everyone. I hope I'm not the only one tired of making masks. Laughing out loud. I've been tired since the first round. I think my first round I did 12. And I did 12 in a day, like straight through. And I thought I was never going to make another mask again, but that didn't happen. So I was tired from the beginning. Vivian says, I am in Chicago and I am in Georgia now. Love it. She says, I am from Chicago and I am in Georgia now. Exactly. Kevin says, hey, June, you will love them country fresh eggs. Pat Bowman says, I made all of my family masks. The only thing I did was no feminine fabric for the guys. No complaints. For free. They were happy. Exactly. And I had one cousin, like when I first put the first batch out, because I had made them for my daughter, my niece who was a mail carrier. I have like a second cousin who's a mail carrier in Alabama, and I was making them for my sister who's a radiologist, and so I posted them on Facebook, and then I had like other family members inboxing me saying, can you make me some? And I said, sure. And then I had them come back after I said yes. Then they want me to know if I can make them in this color and that color and this color. I go, no, you will get what I have, because I had already cut out from the scraps that I had, you know, the 6x9s, because that's easy to do. So no, you're going to get what I have. If I found something that had an inkling of purple in it, they got it, but it was not like predominantly purple. You don't make demands on somebody that's sewing free for you. Kevin says, T is going to be a godmother very soon. That's right. I'm going to be a little chickie's godmother. I have to keep Kevin from eating them, though. And June says, congrats, T. You'll be wonderful at it. Elaine Doucette is here, says, hi. Howdy, T. Sorry I'm late. You're not late. I don't have an agenda. I went today. I'm really tired, and I don't know if I'm going to hold up this whole. That's why I decided maybe I should be sewing today. I went to bed about 6 o'clock, and then my sister called me at 8:30, saying she was in the Walmart line asking me if I needed anything. I told her no. She had my Sam's card. Not Walmart, Sam's. She had my Sam's card, and she said, I'm going to drop your card back off. So I'm thinking, Sam's is pretty close, so she'll be here any minute. It was over 2 hours later, and she calls saying she's 5 minutes away now. Yeah, so I was up over 2.5 hours waiting on this girl to come bring me my card, and she was picking up some masks that I had. They wouldn't fit my husband, so I was giving them to her. But just wasted my morning when I had appointments at 12 that I had to be at. So I started getting ready to leave out of here after she finally came, about 10:30 or so, 10:45. So yeah, so I'm just tired. I've had 2 hours of sleep. So, and I'm making masks, and I had like somebody that requested some masks because their job is going back. That was another 3 that got added on today, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know how many I got here now. 1, 2, and here's another one. I got some ties here. I need to do this one too. I forgot. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm still at 8 because I did an extra 3. So I've already completed 6 overnight. I don't know what's wrong with my cutting. My filters are short now, which means that they're not going to be inside the seam allowance if I'm sewing the sides. I don't know what happened with that. But we're going to work with it, right? Nothing gets wasted. And I even took, like, when I cut my filter fabric, I had pieces left. Like, you know, that when I cut out my 9x6 pieces, I still had some pieces left. And I actually sewed those together too with a zigzag stitch. So we're using it all. That was a lot of money. See if I caught the filter on the sides here. Yep. This is the, they too big. I gotta trim them down. I don't know what I was doing. I think I'm getting tired now. Really tired. And I don't really cut anything of lengthwise with scissors. Not this long. I'm just being lazy. Didn't get the rotary cutter. I don't have a long, I have a super long ruler, but I don't have a 12-inch ruler in this room. And I don't feel like mucking with that big ruler. Okay, so this side is not in the it's caught in some place, but not the whole thing, but that's good. It's holding in place. Let's see, who else has come in here? June says, I'm tired of making them also. Thank goodness everyone is okay with me. My brother and my grandma in our country, in our county where I am, there is only 37 cases, but where my dad and mom are, there is almost 500. Oh my God, let's hope we all stay safe. Yes, indeed. That is a lot. I think in my area, they had us at like 150, but I don't go out. I don't even talk to anybody in my area. Robin Boyd says, hello, Miss T. Hi, Robin. Welcome. Elaine's reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up. I guess. Phyllis Gardner is here. Hi, Phyllis. She says, hi, T and everyone. And Mary says, I thought about zigzagging then together also like you do batting. Nisima is here. She says, hey, waving T and everyone. Welcome. So, yeah, this stuff cost me $38 with shipping. For 3 yards, it's like I said, for 3 yards at 22 inches, some interfacings cost that. So I don't feel like it was a bad price. The shipping was just expensive for that little package that came that didn't even have any instructions. It wasn't in any kind of a bag. It's like, what's your shipping and handling? It was in a bag. It was in a mailing bag, and that was it. No nothing. No receipt. No nothing. So, yeah, interesting. And I may end up ordering some more, so I'll have it in the event that I have to make more of these in the fall or something, because we don't know what's going to happen with this coronavirus. So, yeah, but Susie was having some difficult time in Facebook with making them. She was having difficulties with the family. She was having difficulties with cutting wrong because she was such a nervous wreck, wanting them to appreciate them. So we did straighten her out, and I gave her, somebody had just tagged me after she did that. Somebody tagged me with something about how we're making masks from the goodness of our hearts, and you know, they're not a fashion statement, you know. And you know, it was a whole list of things positive, but they also let them know that, you know, we're using fabric from our stash. You know, nobody is paying us. We're not asking to be paid. And you need to, you know, basically be thankful for the person making your mask. So, I tend to do like the same step together. Like I'll do this first part, like sew the 2 side seams, and then I'll sew the darts. And then that's when I start breaking them out. I might do that to like 15 of them, and then I'll start breaking them down into stacks where I start with the straps. And the reason why I do that is because the straps takes so much. The strap is the longest part, pressing all that strap, because I'm using 2 full strips. So that's actually the hardest part of this job. So then I do them in like sets of 3s or something like that. I get all of my binding made for sets of 3s, so that way I'm not at the iron for a long time. And then I tend to get them done faster that way if I break them down. And I know some people will do all the steps all together. I just want to put a pin in the center right here. And then I try to look at this. This is a fabric that goes all kind of ways. And then I try to figure out which way would look best, for the right side up, even though there isn't a right side up. And then I just chain piece this part right here. And then once they get to this part, this is the easy part. The hardest part, like I said, is the straps. But since I knew I was coming on screen, I went and did the straps for all 8. It was boring. It was less than an hour though. Well, I had 2 of them done, so I did the straps for 6. I had 2 done. So yeah. Let's see. Michelle Thompson says, hey T and everyone. Hi Michelle. Georgia is opening up Friday. Pray for us. I don't think I'm even, when they open up Missouri, I'm not even going out. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to be their experiment. I do know, like, some people working for the state and stuff, like, most of our state was still open. I worked in the Department of Mental Health. They were still open. I had one girl that said she was in Division of Family Service, and they had a case where one of their staff members tested positive because they was around somebody that had been positive. And so they closed the building down, but she had to go back to work today. So she wanted me to make her some, so I made her some. She's going to pick them up tomorrow, I guess. Okay, so I was trying to make sure I had a dart and everything. I just need to put a pin in the center now, so I'll know where that goes. Pin in the center, and pin in the center. So I'm trying to get these, well, I need these 2 for real done, but I've got like a stack of 8 over here. So then what I do the boring part. I pin it all down, both sides. So we'll just start. I do not like making them. Somebody said it took them all day and they still didn't have a mask done. I was like, oh my gosh. Just the struggle was real. It does take me, I'm just going to estimate about a half hour to make one mask start to finish. It is not a 15-minute mask. It's just not. But I found I like the ties. I like to wear the ties better than I do the elastic, so that's why I put up with pressing them. When I was doing them with the elastic, they went a lot faster. And you can use t-shirts, you know, cut up t-shirts and use those strips for your ties as well. I just got rid of shirts right before this epidemic. I had them sitting there for 2 months saying I was going to donate them to Goodwill or something because they were kind of like t-shirts that were kind of more dressier, but they were still t-shirts. Had bought most of them at Macy's, and I used to wear them when I worked, and they were taking up a whole drawer in my bedroom, and I was like, I got so many Teaquilts shirts, it's like I need that drawer for these shirts. So I had put them in a bag and kept thinking I was gonna call or drop them off somewhere, and they sat in my bedroom for like 2 months because it was cold, then it was raining, and I was like, I'm not doing it. And then I just got tired of it, and I go, you know what, I'm just gonna trash it. And so I threw it away, put it in the trash can. And as soon as that happened, it wasn't like a week that we were on quarantine. Crazy. All right, now we gotta put, pipe cleaners. I thought I had some cut. Guess I used them all. I can't imagine how I used every pipe cleaner though. Okay. Oh well, I got more. And I know I shouldn't be using these, but you know, I've been washing mine for like 3 weeks and I haven't seen any rust, so I'm not worried about it. I need 3 for 9. I got 8 blocks, so I need at least 8 pieces. I don't measure them, I just fold them down. And then these scissors is ones that I bought to cut crazy stuff, even though they're Fiskars. They're made, I bought them to cut crazy stuff. So I have one pair of good scissors that I can cut stuff with, but don't worry about using them on fabric. I use them for everything but fabric. And I just got them at a good price, so it wasn't gonna hurt my feelings. So I guess I may as well go ahead and fold all of these down. I thought I had some in here. I can't imagine I used every last one of them. But y'all know what happens when I cut my fan on, right? Stuff start flying in here. I found my pieces too for my pineapple quilt that I couldn't find the 4 pieces for the corners. I found them. Yep, just had a win. Had an issue with the fan up here. Doris Owens here says, hi TNT Quilters. I forgot today was Wednesday. Every day seems to run into one. Hope you are having a great week. I've been having a great week. I dropped off a customer's quilt that I had quilted. That was one of my runs. It was like semi-custom quilted. Of course, it'll be on my video for completions at the end of the month. And then I met another lady. I went to the drugstore to get my Allegra D for my allergies. And then I met another lady at the drugstore while I was out, and she gave me a couple of quilts. So I've been just still working just the same. I'm busier because I'm making these crazy masks. So, but I'm busy. I'm the same level. I've been busy ever since we've been quarantined. So this is nothing new for me, and I barely go out anyway. I would go to the post office more than I do now, but that was about it. I haven't even been to Sam's. My sister been doing those runs, so gave her my card. If she want to do the run, she likes to grocery shop. Here, you take the card. Here's some money. Do what you do. Because I normally do self-checkout, and you just hook up your card, your charge card on it or something, and then you can do self-checkout. So I've got one pinned all the way. Just got to sew. I'm going to do this second one. And I'm not worried about the butterfly right now. I just want to at least get these 2 here done, because after this live, I'm going to crash and burn. Oh, I hope to. I hope I can get some sleep. So I'm tired. Vicky says, it's too early to open up anything. Prayers for you, Vivian. Yes, honey. I don't know what the big rush is to open stuff up. And then they're opening up services where you have to be close to people. They're opening up beauty salons. They said massage therapists, chiropractors, or something. And then it was like, it's like, don't those people have to touch you? Too funny. I put a video up on my channel where somebody was at the beauty shop getting their hair washed, and they were at the sink. They were leaned back in the sink, and they threw a bucket of water to rinse their hair off. And then they used like a mop to go all in it. And then when they got to the chair, they had an extension pole where they had the flat irons on it. It was hilarious. I said, we have lost our minds. For real, we have lost our minds in quarantine. There's some funny people out here making these videos about quarantine. Tiffany is here. She says, hi, Tin, everybody. Hi, Tiffany. So, yeah. And my video that I did for making masks is kind of in full time, except that I didn't show you how to, that I pressed the binding, which is the same thing I'm doing now, but I just felt like she was struggling really bad. So I'm like, maybe I'll just come on and sew masks because I didn't have any box. I went to the post office. No blocks came in this week. I had mail come in, but it was like from an invoice. I had no other mail. So yeah. And this one, and then we're going to sew these two, run these two through. But it don't take all day to make a mask. Like I said, I can do two of them, at least two of them in an hour. And because I press my seams, and I'll say that probably took 5 minutes to press the bias strip. So, and I've been talking to you guys. It don't take all that. All right, so I got the two postal ones pinned, ready to go. Making sure I put the, I'm gonna put this up here so it doesn't get blowed. That's my my pipe cleaners. All right, now it's just sewing. This machine does not sew fast. This is not an industrial machine, so I really don't sew fast. This is as fast as this machine goes. I just want to take this off. It goes with those blue up there. Now the hardest part for me is picking fabric. So what I decided to do was just cut pieces 6 by 9, and then once I got the first part done, then I go find ties to go with them. But I knew on the ones for the postal people that I was going to do all postal fabric. And that's because this came off of yardage, and my other pieces are scraps. So I had to go find yardage so I can cut the strips that I needed. And whenever I cut strips, I try to use it on more than one fabric if I can. Sometimes I can't because I still have to match for some reason. It doesn't really matter, but I still want them to match. They don't have to be the prettiest mask, but they're gonna match. Just craziness. And then somebody said that when they tucked their seams in, that it was too bulky for them to sew. And I find if you tuck in just like 1/4 of an inch, it's real bulky. But if you fold in like 3/4 of an inch, it's crazy. It's not as bulky down there. Try it if you're having difficulty with your straps being bulky. Now on these fabrics, because It's postal fabric. I just left them raw on these, but my other ones I did fold the ends under. But I just left it raw. I thought it was really cute, and it added to the postal theme. So I left them on these. But yes. So we'll go ahead and run this one through. I'm just running through the bottom right now. So I just chain everything. Back stitch. Go ahead and take that off. So the hardest part is picking fabric and then making your binding pieces if you're using fabric that match, if you want them to match. And I like when I can just do mindless sewing and just let it run through. And you should have saw, well, one lady at the post office, she just mean. She never smiles. But the other two ladies that I gave these to, they were just grinning from ear to ear. They were so happy that somebody thought about them, and then the fact that it actually matched their uniforms. So that's what it's about for me. It's just giving them to people that really appreciate it. So don't want this coming back. Now I'm sewing the top on the first one. It's so much quicker when I don't have to videotape. For those that haven't watched the other video, these pieces for the mask were cut 6 by 9, and then I used 2 strips. I was using jelly rolls at first, and now I'm cutting my strips 2 1/4, just because I want to save fabric. If you're cutting, I made 6 out of these, and that 6/4 add up to 1.5 inches. So I'm trying to make sure I conserve fabric if I'm cutting it fresh. But if I was using my pre-cuts, I just used a 2 1/2 strip. So this is the next one. Go across the top. And I think the more you make masks, also the quicker you get, except that it's just boring. Boring. I could never have worked in a sewing sweatshop. I wouldn't have made any money. And I'm going to read comments after this. I think I got both of them done now. Okay. Let's just read comments. Oh, first I do want to check and make sure that I caught all the seams on the back of my binding, and I see here that I kind of missed it a little bit. So I'm going to put, it will, I just didn't have it pushed down flat. I'm going to go right back on top of this same stitching. I got a little spot. So that's the other thing. I checked to make sure everything was caught in the stitching. That caught everything. Top and bottom. And this one, it's only because I'm on film that I'm doing this. This one missed too. Just about ½ inch. But I'll go back and sew about 3 inches or so. Just to make sure. And now it's caught. Oops, I took out my pins that's holding my pipe cleaner. Put that back. That's what I'm going to be sewing next, but I want to read the comments. All right. Sharice Fofi is here. She says, hello, everyone. Hi, T. Hi, Sharice. Ann McNew is here. Says, hey, everyone. Hi, T. Good to see you. Glad you made it. I shared your video in the Teaquilts group today. I saw you put it back out again. June says, we have one case in town now. I'm sure there will be more. Not sure how he got it. Wow. And one is good, though, considering. Shaquita Pearson is here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Hi, Shaquita. Peggy O'Connor is here. Says, hi, T and T Quilters. Hey, Peggy. No kidding about the package was in just a plastic envelope. We're talking about those Filty filters. And then paid all money for shipping by 2-day air. I'm making the Olsen mask. It uses more fabric and I have to make my own ties. No elastic. Yeah, and that's why I didn't use the Olsen mask on this, because I was trying to get as much as I could out of this filter fabric, because I felt like when you start cutting curves, you're going to get less pieces out of it. So that's why I didn't do it. And I had only ordered the 22 because I didn't know what they were talking about. June is telling Shaquita, says, I saw all your masks. Great job. That's really nice. Yes, she did. She showed a lot of them had different sports fabrics and everything. Pretty cool. Cheryl Clute is here. She says, hello, T and everyone. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Shaquita says they lied 15 minutes. Yeah, nothing takes 15 minutes. I can't remember if I did the elastic ones in 15 minutes or not. I know it was bulky sewing over the corners and you had to like back stitch to make sure the elastic was in there. I think it still took more than 15 minutes, maybe 20, could be a little more. But I find if I'm assembly lining them, I can do all the same part at one time and I can get them done faster. So June says, I have ordered more elastic. It will probably come when I don't want it. So all mine have ties. It takes me all day to make 12 of them. I don't have any t-shirts I want to use these for. LaConte Middleton says, good evening. Welcome. Angela Stringer says, hi, TNT Quilters. Hey, Angela. Strivia says, oh, she's talking to Quilt Girls. And she's saying you can use hair ties on Olsen mask. She's making ties, but I think she can't use the t-shirt. She's got to make them herself, I think she said. I don't know. You know, and the thing is every place that some places that you donate to, they have requirements on how they prefer their masks to be made. And I'm not sure if they're going to not accept them if they're not made with that particular pattern, but they're telling you what they would prefer. So, and everybody is different. So if you're making them for a particular place, you do want to follow the instructions for that place. So Lucy Jackson says, greeting Miss T and everyone. Hi, Lucy. Welcome. A lot of people wishing Tiffany prayers and well wishes. I'm just skipping some of that. Peggy says, I was going to ask if you found your corner triangles, laughing out loud. Yes, I did, honey. I knew they was going to show up. Instead of a pipe cleaner, I fold the mask in half and angle about 10 stitches, lock. It's enough to shape the mask over the nose. That's a good idea too. I find I didn't need anything on my nose, so I don't know if it's like fit the black nose. But I know some people have thinner bridges, and so I wanted to make sure when I took them to the post office or when I'm giving them to people, when I'm giving them to white people, I want to make sure that they can fit their nose. Because I've given a lot of masks when I go into businesses, anything that I go into, like the groomer, one of the door people at Sam's, the post office. I'm thinking, who did I give them to when I was just walking around? Yeah, those kind of people, you know, you don't know who you're going to run into. And then I had one at the pharmacist when I went last time to go get meds, but she wasn't there today. And then at Walgreens, they now have up those plastic screen dividers. So now I don't have to worry about giving her one. And then the girl who helped me, they now have their mask. So I think they were just waiting on masks to come. And it's just sad that they had all of these essential stores open, but nobody made sure that these places had masks. It's just sad. Mary says, T, your pineapple blocks remind me of those old-time fans. I have no clue. I'm just making blocks. I haven't even thought about it. Cheryl says, always, I'll look for my stamp for a week, decide not to worry about it, and wham, found it. Erica says, it's nice to stay busy right now. I have to make time to do my fun stuff along with these crazy masks. And that's what I've been kind of doing is when somebody asks me for some, I just tell them it's going to be, like I had a request on Monday, and I said I probably won't start on them until Friday. But I did start them yesterday. I just don't want people to rush me because I'm not in the business of selling masks. I don't really want to sell them. But when I have just generic people asking me for them, I want to make sure that they really need them and going to use them. So I charge them that $5 rate or something. And then what I do is I'll still give them free masks. Okay, I just want them to pay something and not have everything in life being given to them free. Whereas if I see somebody working essential that don't have a mask, I don't mind giving those people a mask. Elaine says nails. Yes, and nails. I'm like, how are you going to open up these stores and these people got to touch you? June says, I've been making masks and then I make churn dash blocks and then go back to making masks. So she's alternating. Michelle says, are they opening some, and they're opening some gyms also? Yeah, I won't be in any of those places. Angela says, as for me and my house, we would be where we at home. First, isolations 24/7. Got that right. June says, some of these people have come up with some good ones. Kelly A says, hello, T and everyone. Hope you all are well. I hope everyone is well too. And the same to you, Kelly. Maddie says, T, I was going through your YouTube and found you. I was happy. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I try to do educational stuff, but then I get swamped with stuff and I can't get time to make content. But I do have a lot of great videos already there that if you're new to this channel, you can go back and look at some. And I'm sure some of you all haven't seen every video I've uploaded, but I think I was in this t-shirt last weekend. I ordered or recorded some videos. I just need to get them edited. I got the first one edited telling you all about my butler purchase, which you all know I have, but I still like to put the information out for somebody else that might be looking into purchasing a system. So thank you, Maddie. And Cheryl, you're so sweet. She welcomed Maddie. You all are so nice. Judy welcomed her. Kelly A, Vivian Calvi. You getting shout outs. That's really nice. Remo JS is here. Says hello everyone from Bowie, Maryland. Welcome back. Also says I am almost finished with my sewing studio. That's going to be awesome. Michelle says hi T and everyone. This is Michelle Anderson. Says hi T and everyone. Watch all the time. First time commenting. Awesome channel. Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate your support. Thanks for letting us know you were out there. T, did you give one to the postal woman who never smiles? That was Kelly. Yes, I did. Because I think sometimes, I don't know if it even worked, because I don't even think she really thanked me per se. But I think the other two ladies, I remember them saying thank you. But when I gave it to the one lady, she was in the back, and she came up and she walked past the back of the counter, and she kept going while I was talking to the lady, trying to explain to her what I was giving to her. And she was like, oh, really? And she was really grateful and thankful. Do you want me to pay you for this? And I'm like, no, it's a gift. I just want you ladies to know I appreciate you all helping me when I come up to this counter. I appreciate your service. And she was saying, well, that's really sweet. And so then she was trying to figure out how to get it on. And she couldn't tell which side was the right side and the wrong, the top and the bottom. So I was helping her with that. And she scrolled past again, looking even more peculiar. And then she finally came to her station. And I said, here, I have one for you, too. And I don't recall her saying thank you. But then the other person that's normally at the desk, she came back. She went on a break. And so she came back, and she was looking like, what are you all doing? And I said, and she was looking at me crazy because she really know me. And she was like, I said, now you know that I didn't give something to one person and didn't give you one. And she was the one that ended up wanting one for her sister, who's also a postal person. So that's why I'm remaking these again. I'm making one for my mail clerk, and then I had already made some for my niece, but I forgot all about the postal fabric, and so I'm going to give her one with the postal fabric because my niece also works for the post office. So, but yes, I did, because I just won't let anybody, I took them in case she was there. So I had already decided as I was making them that I was going to give her a mask. So I'm not going to let somebody being rude. Even if you're being rude, I'm still going to give you your blessing regardless, and I'm gonna let you do what you do. I'm not here to judge, so do what you do. Remo JS, thank you. She says thumbs up, everybody. Cheryl says I have 22 to finish, and I think I am done. I have the block swap to finish when the fabric gets here. And Shrivia is also welcoming Michelle to the group. Why did you go from 6 to 6 from 6.5? I thought I was always doing 6. Did I say I was doing 6.5? I may have misspoken. I've always been doing 6x9s. I'm sorry. And the 1/2 inch won't matter as much if you have been making them 6.5. And I'm sorry about that if I misspoke that. Sometimes that happens in a video. Mary says I've been cutting my strips 2 inches so they go through my bias binder, and that's good too. If you already got a tool a particular size, that's a great use of it as well. Kevin says, admire you so much for doing this, T. Seriously. Oh, you are so welcome. I try to do what I can. Some people actually think I'm mean, and that's because I'm no nonsense for real. I know how to have a good time. I know how to have fun, but I'm really no nonsense. Like, you can't walk all over me. I will stop people when they want to do that. And so then because of that, some people think that I'm mean, but I'm really one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. You can't treat me any kind of way. So it's funny. Kelly says, I cut my strips and my ties 1 3/4 or 2 inches. I actually prefer the narrow ties, easy to tie and not so bulky. That's good too. Lucy Jackson says, I enjoy making masks. Not boring. I have made over 200. Oh my gosh, Lucy, you are a godsend. You're an angel. And I've told people this before. I'm a technique junkie, which means if a new gadget comes out, I like to try it. A new project comes out, I like to do it. That's why I got a lot of, well, part of the reasons why I got a lot of UFOs. The other part of the reason is because I teach. So some of my stuff that are in pieces, those are my class things. But I do have about 50 tops. So I do have a lot of UFOs that could be done, but I just love to do something new. That's my nemesis with quilt making. Is that I love the new, want to jump right on it. My brother Ray is here. He says, hey sis, I'm here. Hi everyone, and thumbs up already. Hope everybody's staying safe. Yes, indeed. How are your masks working out for you and your spouse, your wife? Kelly says, bless you, Lucy. Yes, indeed. If only we had your enthusiasm. I'm with T too. Repetitive and tedious for me to be able to do many in one sitting. And like I said, I'm probably getting close to being in 60s. I'm going to count them at the end, and I'll give you all a full count of how many of these things I've made. Yeah, and I have a feeling that these 8 that I have here won't be the last, so we shall see. Mary says, has anyone had complaints of pipe cleaners rusting? I have not. I have had my mask and been washing and wearing it whenever I go out, or if I even, sometimes if I'm outside in the yard because of the sinus stuff, I've been wearing mine outside, and I've been washing mine. I probably have washed my mask now about 4 or 5 times by hand, and then I immediately hang it to dry. It's not like sitting in water for hours, so I haven't had any issues showing. And all of my masks are white on the back because I just used, I think this is white muslin or white Kona cotton, I can't remember. And yeah, so I haven't had any issues with it. Cool Gal says, I think my elastic is coming by boat. With 100 aluminum nose pieces, and I saw those too. I thought that was pretty cool, but I didn't order it. I had people complain that the hair ties hurt and come off the ears. Yes, they do, honey. I was wearing mine just to go grocery shopping, and I didn't want to wear it. I had used elastic, and I didn't want to wear it, so I know them hair ties had to be deadly. Kelly says, I've started using the pattern by Durata Davis. No video, just blog tutorial. Not only the easiest and fastest pattern of the 7 I tried, it's the best fitting without any added nose wire. And that's even the 6x9 for my face. It fit here because I showed you all in my video, and it fit on my nose. I didn't need any attachments. The problem, and I used elastic. The problem came when I put the binding strips on them. Then they're binding strips but not biased, and so they had a gap here and then had more potential of a gap at the nose, and so I had to add those 2 items. But I appreciate those ties still. Susan Waddles is here. Hi Susan, welcome to the chat. She says, how our health and safety manager at work said that we can press our mask with an iron with steam, and that sanitizes it between uses. No need to have to wash between uses. That's interesting. I wonder what that would do to the filters that are inside the ones that I have filters in, because I'm scared to put an iron on the filter. I have not tested that. But that's good to know, Susan. Thank you so much for that. Tiffany says, I made 3 masks yesterday, and the first 2 were small for his face because his big nose and ears sit further back. Haha. Now, I told you I had made some for my husband, and I think because I used flannel that I thought was pre-washed, and I had pre-washed them before I gave them to him, and then when he put it on, he said that it was elastic kind. He said it wouldn't stay on his ears, and so I made him new ones. Those were the black ones that I showed you all in Teaquilts today. Those were his. So I made him new ones with ties. He just preferred the ties, so... And he said it fits a whole lot better. Dee Dee Hansen is here. She says, just joined, still making designer masks. People choose their fabric on Zoom. 37 in the queue. Oh my gosh. I would never do that. Well, if you got people in the queue, I guess they got time to pick fabric if you just showing them what you got. That's pretty cool though. She's got 37. I would probably have a heart attack over here if I had an 37 masks to make. It make me nervous when people ask me for 4. My niece had the nerve to ask me for 6. I'm like, oh my God. Angela says, government employees suffer burnout quite often as they serve. Being kind may have saved a life. You know who her boss is. Peggy says, you are the sweetest. Thank you for taking care of postal clerks. Yes. Maria says, stop cleaning sewing room and started cutting squares. Cherie says, Dee must have a super stash to make custom orders. See, I didn't want to go through all that changes. And even, like, when the people they were asking me, where I told them outright I was going to charge them because I felt like because I was posting pictures on my Facebook, that they were just wanting me to do it for free because I had done them for other people for free. So that's why I was charging people a few dollars to make them. And then if they decided that they were going to go ahead and do it, then I went ahead and made them an extra mask over what they paid for. But I just don't want to be trying to make masks for the world, because I can't. I'm just one person and I'm still running my business. So like I've spent the last 2 days, like I cut yesterday and then I started sewing in the middle of the night. So I've spent the last 2 days making masks that I could have been doing something else with Teaquilts business. I did get one video edited. I could have edited another video. And I don't really want money for making masks. That's not how I want to make my money. Because I think that they should be free to people that need them. Especially if you can't buy one in the store. But I just want to make sure that people who are asking me for them at least are willing to pay something, because you all know us crafters, people don't want to pay us for anything. So they don't want to pay us for a thing. And then this little lady that I quilt, the 90-plus-year-old that I talk about, I quilt for her. She is so cute. When I give her price, it's always a discounted price. And then and when I tell her what she owes me, and she says, you need to charge me what you need to charge me. And we went through this again today because I custom quilted her quilt. Well, it was semi-custom. And it took me 2 days to quilt that quilt. And she was asking me, did I charge her for everything? Because it didn't sound like it was enough. And I said, no, I didn't charge you for squaring your quilt up. She's like, well, why didn't you charge me? But I said, because it's just what I do. You've been using me for a while. I give people discount like that sometimes. And and she said, are you sure? I said, yes. I said, I'll tell you what, next time I do another quilt, I'll charge you for everything. And she's like, okay. It's just who I am. If somebody, like I've quilted, since we've been in quarantine, I've quilted 2 quilts for her. So, yeah. She's really sweet. Yeah, Michelle Thompson says, I made mine 6x9 and a strap. So all I got to do now is just do my pleats. I did both nose bridges. So, yeah, I just want to make sure that I give my mail carrier hers tomorrow, because I'm sure the people that work in the back of the post office is probably real good and mad that the people in the front got masks. But I want my mail carrier to know she has one coming. So I was like, I actually sold it to her because I just had her give me a few bucks for it. So, because I wanted to make sure, you know, she wanted the second one. So, yeah. And on these now, I think I put a bigger tuck in. So sometimes I only put 2 pleats in it instead of 3. Because I don't have enough room with the binding on it. So I'll kind of look at it and see what I have. but I do not like making them. I do think they're pretty once they're made, though. They're gorgeous. This can go up a little bit more. Because I find if you get your pleats like on the underside where they're right next to each other, it helps with shaping once it's on your face. So I'm just pulling that up. Raise that pleat up. But I found it was getting difficult to put 3 pleats in them. So I've been putting 2 in them now. Okay, that's why this looked crazy, because the pleat's going in the wrong direction. I had one pleat going one way and the other pleat was going another way. I'm like, how come it's so much space? See? I'm tired. I'm tired of making them. That is too funny. I'm like, where all that space come from? Okay. I think we're ready to sew this one. We may as well go ahead and pin this one. Get it out the way. Hope you all, if you all have to go back to work, just make sure you go back to work safe. I do know that when they start lifting these bans that you got to go to your jobs. And you've had the essential people working the entire time as well. So just be safe when you go back. You know, sometimes you don't have a choice, but people that are retired like me, we can choose whether we go outside or not. You don't have that choice. So, and I think that's why I got a lot of people asking me for masks this week. And I do this stitch about 1/4 inch away. I find if you're trying to get straight right on the edge, it's a whole lot harder. And it just stitched right over that. Somebody in the comments said that their machine wouldn't stitch over it. I haven't had any issues, and I'm still sewing with a size 11 needle. I never even changed my needle. I said I'm going to use this needle until it won't work anymore. And then when I do my, when I even use the same needle to do these pineapple blocks. I haven't changed my needles. I haven't had any skip stitches, but I'm going to use this needle because, you know, just wear it out. It'll let me know when they want to come out of here. Okay, so I've been talking in the chat. And I already had the binding straps made, so that's like another 5 minutes. But I have made the 2 masks while I've been chatting with you all in the live chat. So they, like I said, you can easily get these done in a ½ hour. It doesn't take all day. You got to get organized. So sewing is not that bad. Cut everything. Or even just cut a lot of 6x9 pieces, and then if you're using any kind of filters, get those cut. Sew your sides on all of that, and then go back and get your other fabrics if you like. But yeah, I knew I was going to use the same fabric on these, so I went ahead and done these. These were the only ones I had fabric for when I first did the first batch. I cut out 12 at that time. I've since cut out 3 more, I think. The 3 that I got the order for today. She called while I was in there cutting fabric for my ties, so I went ahead and just cut hers as well. I think my thread got tangled around my foot. Let's see. See if I can get it to move. my thread tail. I didn't hold the thread tail. But that's it. I've just finished too. So I say you can definitely do it in a half hour if you're not stressing over fabric. Me, I want them to match, so it takes me like the full half hour. And then I like to go through, I know it doesn't matter, but I like to trim up all the thread tails, stuff like that, just to make them look a little bit more professional. And then I do put a note in mine telling them how to wear this mask, what's inside of this mask as well. Because when I gave it to, oh, that's what that one, the one that was being mean, she says, does this have a filter in it? Woo! Oh, Lord, some people. All right, but I got these two ready to go. Did I sew this one? Yep. I just got to get all my thread clips. I was kind of surprised I didn't get any blocks this week, especially since I hadn't been to the post office. So I just like to make them look neat. And then I put them in a plastic bag and put the note in the plastic bag. And they can do what they please with them after that. I see another tail on the end down here. All right. So just sewed two. I got 5 more. My sister wants one. And then my niece, mother-in-law, wants 4. So that's what I got to do now. I got how many? 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 6. Yeah, I got 6 more ready. I probably need another one because all I have is the one tie on. I went out today, so mine's is hanging back here drying. You can kind of see it right here. It's drying. Cherie says, I haven't met a mean quilter as of yet. Quilters make great friends. I have met some that are kind of a little different because you got those that want to be the quilt police or sometimes you got quilters that have some jealousies. So it can happen. I'm glad you haven't experienced that, but it can. It's been people in my chat telling me that they went to a guild meeting and was treated so rudely that they'll never join a guild. So you just got to find the right one for you. Kelly says, I assume you gave her one. I was mainly curious about her reaction. Sad that she couldn't even say thank you. Hope your blessing for her was appreciated, even if she can't express it. And sometimes I think people work in customer service and they're really not good with customer service. And it's just a job. And it kept her from walking the street. She probably got promoted to be a desk clerk. And yeah, I just think some people are just not meant for customer service. Now I have birds trying to make a nest in my front light. I got it out last year, so they having a fit, and I found snakes in my flower bed, so staying in for a while. I do have birds. I think when birds are trying to make nests in places where they're not supposed to, something's wrong with our environment. So I had nests for a few years trying to make nests in my light, and the only thing I did was I used to take paper towels and I would soak them in ammonia and put that out there, and they wouldn't come back. They did it like 2 years, and then they didn't come back anymore, and I haven't done it in a long time because I didn't want to do anything dangerous to the birds. I just wanted to smell them out to make them not come back. And you're welcome, Mary. Dee says, I tested the filter fabric with the iron by mistake. Iron directly on filter fabric melts, but I ironed after it is inside and it doesn't bother it inside. So that's good to know, because at first I was washing everybody's, and then I would press them when I used the polypropylene. I could even iron that. But I was so scared to wash. I haven't washed on the new filters because I was so scared they were going to melt. So that's good to know. Quick Girl says, T, can you run 2 1/2 inch with the fabric through the bias tape maker? Yes, I've tried to make larger width masks for broad faces. I have not even used, I got bias tape makers in some drawer down here somewhere, and I don't even use those things. I even got these other things I was telling you all about. I haven't used them either. Supposed to have been doing a video. I've had them about 2 years now. The sashers. I don't know if you all have heard about these, but they're in all different sizes. So it can go from 1/8, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1 inch, 1 1/8 inch, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 2 inches, and 2 1/2. So that's the finished size of your binding. And I didn't use it. This is what I should have been over there using. So maybe I... You know, we're just crazy. We just buy stuff and put it to the side. Oh, goodness. But I have not used, I got bias tape makers too, but I have not used a one. And that's because I knew mine were not biased. Can you still use them? I would almost think that you could. I think you could. I think it would go through easier with bias, but I think that those... the way that contraption is made, that it will still fold those edges over pretty easy. So hold on, let me go back up because I put my phone down and it skipped on me. It kept kept going. Okay, we did June. Okay, so that was Quilt Gal. So we answered her question. Dee says, they can't pay me enough for these masks. I have them make a donation to my charity. Each mask takes 1 hour. So at a minimum wage plus another $5 for supplies, fabric, elastic, filter material. And that's what I did. I just charging people for supplies. Because I am not trying to profit. I don't think this is the time to profit off of something. So I'm just charging people for supplies. I ain't even include my plastic bag and my tag that I got inside. But yeah, it says it's hard to charge people for something you actually enjoy doing. I get you. It's not that I enjoy doing it. It's hard for me to charge people for something that I know they need. That's the thing. Dee Dee says it is more fun to make masks when they're all different. That's probably true as well. Kelly says it's nice she knows and appreciates what goes into your work and wants to make sure she pays you what's fair. Dee Dee says they sent me a photo of them in masks for album I'm making. That's pretty cool. T, have you used the Pelon 40 stabilizer in mask yet? No, I have not. And that's because I had other things that I felt like were better for me. And I have not tried the stabilizer one. And they're using non-woven stabilizer on those. But I have not done that one. T, would you... I don't know what she's saying. Would you sew up a close up if the 2 pleat mask, please? Will you show a close up? Okay. So this is the 2 pleats here, and because I got the tucks and the wire in there, you know, they don't lay like super flat. I kind of like them. They look dimensional already. And then this is how it looks on the back. Just the 2 pleats. And because I have that dart in here, I can never get this line here anyway to lay flat. But I do like them. I like them on the face. Yeah. Who guesses? I found a YouTube by a lady who made 80 Olsen masks, and she explains it much easier to do. And I did see a guy that was in some group that you had to join, and they wanted all the email stuff, and I knew I wasn't going to make the Olsen mask, but they were talking about this guy that had a great way of doing it. I watched part of the video, and he had a neat way of cutting them out. He traced them onto the top layer, and then he cut out, he had like super giant scissors where he was cutting out a whole lot of them at a time. And it did look like it was, and he didn't use any pins to cut either. It was amazing, but he had this kind of way of how he put them on the fabric where he was zigzagging through and cutting them. It was kind of weird, but it really worked. So when you get into whatever rhythm you get into with any of this, I think it is a lot easier. Angela, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. She says, thank you. I was wondering why I have skip stitches. Change the needle. Yes. Your needle is tired. And my needle is probably good and tired. And you can kind of feel like, yeah, my needle needs to be changed. Because you can feel extra bumps in it that's not there on a new needle. So that's funny. Trying to get Quilt Gal to post, and she's not familiar with all the social medias. Hey, Miss Bonita Nan, she's in here. She said, hey everyone, I am so late. Yes ma'am, we just here later than normal. Now y'all know I would normally be off of here at 8:21, but I have a feeling that I'm not going to go to bed when I want to go to bed. I'm going to figure out something to eat. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I ate a late lunch, and that's been it, and it was tuna. I made tuna salad. I hadn't had tuna in so long, and I will confess, do you know my can said, I must have bought this tuna when I retired or something, because it said it expired in 2016. I retired in 2015, and I ate that tuna anyway. That tuna was still good, and I didn't get sick, and I have a very sensitive stomach to bad stuff, so just know sometimes the dates on food. I'm frozen. I'm sure you all can still hear me, but my screen is frozen. So let me just go through here. If you all can't hear me or if it's bad, let me know. I watched it freeze my face. Pam Robertson says, good night, T and everyone. Thanks. Now I can start sew my mask. I'm putting stabilizer in mine. Kelly A say, with mean people like that, I try to remind myself that they must be very unhappy. So I say a quick prayer for them, and then I move on. Won't let them change my own attitude. And that's what I had already decided. I had made the girl a mask. She was going to get a mask. So, also, good night, Pam. I don't know if I said that. I knew you all could still hear me, but I'm frozen. I'm going to go ahead and read these last comments, and then I'm going to call it quits. And Quilt Girl says, thanks, Kevin. How can I share with you? So, she's talking to Mary. I just saw those binder clips on the Checker site. Pam says, I'm still here from NOLA. Oh, so she was just coming in. Okay. And Mary says, I'm not making bias, and the straight goes through just fine. That's pretty good. So somebody has done it. Tucker says, good night, T and everyone. I'm signing off. See you all next week. Bye-bye, Tucker. I made my daughter-in-law for her work because she has to work 12 hours and has asthma, so I made her 11 masks, and the next morning I got a text from her. That's Quilt Gal. What was her text about? You left me hanging. And Mary was thanking me for showing the 2 pleats and says, sorry for the typo. It's no problem. I typo all the time. These phones change stuff. Also, good night to Tucker. And I shared with the picture of the co-workers room. Well, that's really nice. There it goes. I didn't know I couldn't find it. It was further down. Okay. Bonita says, I can hear you. Kelly said, I can still hear you, but picture is frozen. T-Rex MC says, the YouTube God heard you say I'm usually not on at 8:21. You got that right. Phyllis Garner says, good night all. Praying safety and health to all. Tiffany says, okay, I'll say good night now. Talk to you all later. And we hear you fine. Dora Soul said, T, are we going to have a sew along Monday? Probably Saturday, because I might sew my pineapple blocks. So Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Angela Stringer says, good night, T. Good night, Kevin the Quilter. Good night, everyone. I'm out. And so am I. Good night, everybody. See you all. Take care and stay blessed. Stay safe.